Good morning. Welcome in wherever you are, whatever kind of week is behind you. You made it here into this quiet time, and that really counts for something already. So, this is Sunday morning ritual, not a workout, it's not a lecture. It's just a time designed to put you back into your own body and your own life before the world starts asking you for things again. So, today, the thread is identity, specifically the version of you that you keep introducing to the world, whether it is still true. The whole month, we've been talking about repackaging the real you, not becoming someone new, becoming honest about who you already are. So, today, we're going to do a little bit of quiet inner work so that we can really own it next week, right? So, this is the part, the rewrite that you can reach really on your own. And then next week, we're going to sink it in. So you do not need anything except a place to sit and maybe something to write on. You don't need an app. You don't need perfect posture. It's just you and some time that belongs to nobody else. So let's begin. How we start our Sunday sets the tone for our entire week. So, welcome to the Sunday Morning Club, the show dedicated to intentional living and personal growth. I'm Faye Chappell, and on behalf of all of us here at Elevated Living, I invite you to take this time for yourself to find your center and fill up your cup. I'm so glad you're here. There is a description of you living out in the world right now, and it's on your profile. It is in the way you kind of answer the question. So the question is always, what do you do? Right? And it's the story that you tell at dinners, the one you recite without thinking, right? Here's the strange thing about the description: you wrote it or you inherited it at a particular moment in your life. And then time kept moving and you kept changing, and the description mostly stayed put. So a lot of us are walking around introducing a person who was accurate a few years ago and not really accurate now. And it's not a failure. It's just how identity works when no one stops to update it, because we are efficient creatures. And once we have a way of explaining ourselves that works, we kind of keep using it long after it doesn't really fit us anymore. So those words become kind of our home. They're familiar, they're safe, and also a little bit small in a way that maybe we feel that we rarely name, right? So think about that word, small. So many capable people describe their own lives that way, right? It's not bad, it's not broken, just smaller than what is actually inside them. And often that smallness is not in the life at all, it's just in the language. It is in the tired old description that keeps pulling the same tired old opportunities towards us, right? So, the reason this matters on a Sunday in this quiet time is that you cannot rewrite your way out of it from outside alone. You can only polish the words, you know, forever all you like, but underneath it, you still believe you are the old description. And then the new words will feel like a lie, and you will quietly delete them eventually, right? So the real work happens in here first, in the body, in this honest place that you are sitting alone with yourself now. So this morning, we're not going to fix your bio. We are going to do something a little more important. We're going to notice the gap between the person that the world thinks you are and the person that you actually are sitting here breathing, right? That person. And the gap is not a problem to be ashamed of. The gap is the most alive thing about you right now. It is the exact size of your essentially next chapter. So let us get out of our heads and into our bodies so we can feel this instead of thinking about it. So I want you to settle in your seat. I want you to let your weight drop into whatever is holding you there, the chair, the floor, the cushion. It is strong enough. You can stop holding yourself up for the time we are together. I'm going to let your shoulders relax. Want them to come down from wherever they've been living. Like if you're hunched like this, let them down. Because for a lot of us, they've been up near our ears for years, right? Bracing for the next thing. I want you to let them fall, right? And feel the space that opens across your collarbone as they do. Soften your jaw, let your teeth come apart. So much of our effort to be the right person lives in that clenched jaw. So I want you to let it go slack. And I want you to bring attention to your hands. These hands that have done decades of work, I want you to let them rest open, palms up or palms down, whatever feels comfortable and honest. Just don't grip anything, just let them go. Feel your feet, right, as they actually contact the ground. Um, you're here, not in the past, not anything you keep describing from the past, not in the future, because you always worry about the future. You're just here now in this body on this morning, which is the only place any real change has ever happened. So, we're going to breathe together a little bit now, and we're going to use that breath to practice something, practice letting go of a held thing, because that is the whole lesson today. You are allowed to release what you've been carrying. So I want you to breathe in slowly through your nose. Fill up from the bottom, the belly first, then the ribs, and then the chest. Take your time. There is no rush this morning. There is no counting. And then I want you to release it slowly through your mouth and let it be a real exhale, longer than the inhale. Let the breath out, and you can feel the sound of setting something down, right? So as you breathe in, you breathe out, you're letting things settle, you're letting go. Again, through the nose, slow and full. Out through the mouth, even slower this time. As you exhale this time, I want you to imagine you are breathing out one old sentence, one tired line that you've been using to describe yourself. You don't have to know which one at all, just let the breath carry something out. Again, breathe in and breathe in the space for who you actually are, and breathe out the description that no longer fits. Out goes the ghost, out goes the leash, just for now, just for this breath. Let's do two more on your own. Slowly in, lower out. Exhale a little lighter than the one before. One more time. I don't have to count you guys down. You've been doing this a long time with me. Now let your breath return to normal. And notice that you feel slightly different than you did 4 breaths ago. A little more room in the chest. The room is where really the new version of you is going to live. Now I want you to close your eyes. Let me take you somewhere. I want you to imagine that you are standing in a hallway, and it is quiet, the light is soft. Along one wall, there are framed portraits. And as you walk slowly down the hallway, you realize that each portrait is a version of you at different ages, you in different chapters. Every one of them is real, and every one of them a person that you actually were. I want you to walk by them gently. Here's one of you who was maybe building a career from nothing, one maybe holding a family together, maybe caring for somebody who needed you. You gave so much that there was barely anything left. There's the one who survived the thing that you were sure would end you, but it didn't end. So I want you to stop for a moment in front of each one of these portraits. The one your current description is still based on, the version that's maybe in your bio or in your introductions or your usual story that you're pointing at. And I want you to look at that person with tenderness. They did so well. They got you here. And say a quiet thank you to them. They're not the enemy. They are the reason that you survived. And now keep walking, because there's one more frame at the end of the hallway. And this one's different. This one is not a painting yet. It's a little empty. It's a blank frame waiting. I want you to stand in front of it. This frame is for the you that you are becoming, the one you have not actually fully introduced to the world yet. And I want you to let that image begin to form. Not forced, just allow it. Who is that person? How do they carry themselves when they walk into a room? What do they say when a stranger asks what they do? Now the answer points forward instead of back. So, what is different about their eyes? What have they stopped apologizing for? You don't have to see it all. You just maybe even see a little flicker. That's enough. Even a feeling. I want you to let that future self look back at you from an empty frame and let them know that you are on your way, that you are done introducing the old portrait as if it was the one who is there and you're ready to move forward. So take one slow breath here in front of that frame that is still being filled in. This is not a fantasy. This is the most honest picture in the whole hallway because it is the one that is still true, the one that's becoming. And when you are ready, I want you to turn back, walk back up that hallway past all the versions of yourself, and come gently back to the room, to this seat, to this morning. Open your eyes. Okay, if you have something to journal with, this is the moment. If you do not, just answer these quietly in your mind. But I promise the writing goes a little deeper. So we're going to do one prompt at a time as usual, and I do not want you to rush forward with them. Take your time. Again, if you're watching the recording, stop the recording, whatever works. So let's start with the number one. Write down word for word, the sentence you usually lead with when somebody asks what you do. The automatic one, the one you say without even thinking. Just write it down. It should be very quick because you always default to it. And after you write that, I want you to read that sentence back and ask, whose chapter is this describing? Is it the you sitting here this morning, or is it a version a few years back? And I want you to be honest. I want you to write what you notice. Prompt 2. Prompt 3. What is one thing that is deeply true about who you are becoming that does not appear anywhere in your current description? Something that the world doesn't even know about you because you have never said it out loud. I want you to write it. Just one thing. It doesn't have to be a big thing, but it can be something that the world doesn't even know. It can be as simple as a new thing you're doing, or it could be like you are now a vegetarian, or you are a runner, or you have a different belief system. Whatever it is, just write something. Then we go to 4. What has the old description been protecting you from? Because it's been doing a job. Maybe it kept you safe, it kept you credible, kept you from having to claim something new. What did it let you avoid? And I want you to name it just quietly, right? Maybe it was keeping you from the fear of being laughed at or ridiculed or, um, you know, of losing friends because you've changed. What is it? And the final question is, I want you to finish the sentence in writing. If I fully believed the new version of me, the very next thing I would do differently is, let that answer be small and specific, not a grand plan, just the next real thing. It could simply be, if we take that, you became a vegetarian, you might write a little thing on your Facebook and say, hey, you know what? I've been a vegetarian for the last 3 months and this is the benefits or whatever it is. I want you to say it out loud, okay? Very small, very quiet. What's the first thing that you would do if you believed the new version of yourself? When you've done that, set that writing aside, come back to your body for a moment, because we want this to land more than just in your mind. This is the somatic practice that we do every single week, right? So I want you to sit up a little taller, not stiff, just present. I want you to place one flat hand on your chest over your heart, and I want you to feel it there. I want you to feel the warmth of your own hand. I want you to say the next true thing out loud. The one from prompt 3, the thing about who you are becoming that nobody knows yet. And I want you to say it quietly, just to yourself, with your hand on your heart. It may feel strange to say it in your own voice, That strangeness is actually the old identity loosening its grip, but I want you to say it anyway. When you take a slow breath in, and when you sit with that kind of slight discomfort of having said it, and let the breath out. And notice that you didn't disappear, the sky didn't fall. You told a forward truth about yourself and you survived it completely. I want you to remember that feeling. That is the feeling of that leash coming off. Okay, so let your hand come down. Let your eyes open if they're still closed. And let just very soft and unhurried come back to the room. Because here's what we did this morning. You walked that hallway. You thanked the old instead of resenting it, right? You stood in front of the frame that's being filled and you said one forward truth out loud in your own voice. That's not small. That is the actual work of reinvention, of translation, and most people never sit still long enough to do it. Nothing you survive is wasted. Every version of you in that hallway got you to this seat. And you are allowed to keep every one of them and still stop introducing yourself as the oldest one. You are not too late. You're exactly on time. The description just needed updating. And now you have felt in your body that the new one really, it's not a lie. It's the truest picture of your own self right now. So I want you to carry that sentence from the last question, prompt 5, into the week with you, because that's the next real thing. Do it. Do that one little next thing that you said you would do. And if you want help turning that into an actual words on your profile or your bio, you can just go to Too Late My Ass. Down at the bottom, you'll see free resources. There's one called AI Finally. It's a bio pack. And it does it with you in your voice, and it's free. And so if you want to do that, cool. And if you want to join me live and run it by me or ask me questions, the first Wednesday of each and every month, I have a live at noon Eastern. It is free. There's no cards, nothing required. You can join me. Just look for Wednesday Live. And that's again in the at Too Late My Ass. You can find it. I will put it in the show notes as well. But feel free to join me. I would love to see what you've come up with. So until then, be gentle with the old you. Be brave with the new one. I'll see you next Sunday. And with that, our time together comes to a close. Thank you for showing up for yourself today. Take that feeling of this space with you and let it guide your actions and reactions this week. I'm Faye Chappell. On behalf of everyone here at Elevated Living, I'm wishing you a week of profound peace and clarity. This episode was produced by the City Media Group.